you can actually get real coaching clients for $150 a day. That's it. Not 100,000 followers, not a five-figure ad budget, $150 a day. Ran the right way is simply enough. But here's the part that actually no one tells you. If your backend is broken, that same $150 a day won't just waste money, it will actually bankrupt you faster than running no ads at all. Because you see, ads don't fix a broken business. They simply pour gasoline on whatever you already got. And look, that's either good or bad. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how to run paid ads to get coaching clients in 2026. The readiness check that tells you if you should even be doing something like this yet, and how to size your budget off of your offer, and more importantly, what kind of ads are actually working right now, and the one mistake that quietly drains your account. So let's go ahead and get into it. First thing, I need to go ahead and fix a belief that you've probably walked with before. See, most coaches think that their problem is the leads. Not enough leads, or leads that cost too much. So they go looking for a magic ad setup that prints cheap leads, like that's the one thing actually standing between them and a real business. Look, it just isn't. I've been able to run ads that brought in leads for a few dollars each. I mean, we're talking dirt cheap. And it still didn't matter because cheap leads pointing to a business that can't convert them is just a faster way to lose money. You see, the ad is honestly the easy part. The machine that the lead lands into, well, that is actually the tricky part. So let me go ahead and reframe what an ad actually is. You see, an ad is not a client generator. An ad is an amplifier. You see, whatever your offer, your follow-up, or your sales processes do naturally, ads do that same thing, just louder and faster. So if you can already turn conversations into clients without ads, ads will scale that. Now look, if you can't, ads would just help you go broke on a quicker schedule. And so look, that's why that's the first question I always ask. It's never how do I run ads? It's more of a are you actually ready to run ads? And almost nobody actually asks that, which is why almost everybody wastes their first few $100s. So before I give you the how, let's actually make sure you're ready to run ads. So here's the readiness check that I actually built. And it's actually in a free scorecard that you can grab in the description, but I'll go ahead and walk you through it right now so that way you can score yourself on it as we go. So there are a few things that have to be true before you put a single dollar into ads. One, you have to have an offer that has already sold at least once without ads. Even one human who is not your friend or your mom or something has to have paid you for this. If you've never closed it organically, I'm telling you, ads won't teach you how. They'll just put more strangers in front of an offer that doesn't land. Two, you have to have a way to actually talk to people who raise their hand. A booking link, a calendar, a real next step, not just DM me. Like a real clear path from I'm interested to we're on a call or I bought. Three, you have to follow up. You see, most people who click your ads will not buy within the first 5-10 minutes. If you don't have a simple sequence of texts and emails that keep talking to them over the next week or two, you're essentially paying to generate leads and then just letting them rot. And that is honestly the single most expensive mistake in this entire game. 4, you can track where your sales come from. If someone books a call, you should be able to tell whether they came from an ad or whether they came from your content. If you can't see it, you can't manage it. And you either kill a campaign that's actually working or feed one that's bleeding. 5, you have to have a little bit of a cushion. Now, ads are a test before they're a machine. Your first 2 to 3 weeks, you're paying for data, not profit. A few $100s of testing money would put you in a bad spot, then you're not ready to run ads. You're ready to build the backend first. If you can't check those boxes, pause the ads. Go fix the machine first, okay? Look, that's not me being discouraging. That's me saving you the money. I've actually literally watched a lot of people light on fire. See, the people who win with ads are almost always had a quiet little system that's already worked before they ever even tried to scale it. Okay, so let's say you passed through that first gate. Now let's talk about numbers. Because $150 a day isn't a magic figure. It's just a number that math gets you to. And what I want you to understand is the math so that you can figure out yours. Here's the simple version. Most coaches and creators' budget is around 20 to 30% of their offer price to acquire a client. So let's say your offer is around $5,000. You can confidently spend around $115 to land one client and honestly still have a great business. You see, that's the ceiling you're kind of working inside. Now, go ahead and work that backwards. Decide how many clients you actually want this month. Let's say you want, 5. Multiply that by what you're willing to spend to get one. Now, 5 clients, a few $100s each in acquisition cost, that will land you somewhere around the, $100 to $150 a day in ad spend, and that would be to give the algorithm enough room to actually find those people. See, that's where the number comes from. It's not just a feeling. It's your actual offer price and your goal turned into a daily ad budget. Now, here's the part that requires discipline. When something starts working, you scale it slowly. You do not wake up, see one good day, and then triple your ad budget. See, every time you just yank on the spend overnight, you reset the algorithm that's learning and your cost will spike. Raise it gently, 20, 30% at a time. Let the machine catch up. You see, slow scaling is boring, but boring when it comes to ads is what always works. Now, one thing on the money. Your first 2 weeks, your numbers will look ugly, and that's normal. You're essentially going to be finding out which message, which audience, which offer angle actually pulls people in. Don't judge a campaign by its day 2. Judge it by what it's doing when it's had a little bit of time to spend and to find its footing. Now, the actual how. Let me save you a few $100s here and some time of trial and error with what's actually working right now in 2026, not what worked, 3 years ago. First, let the platform do the heavy lifting, okay? Meta's automated campaigns, the Advantage Plus style setups, now beat the old way of just handpicking tiny audience for most coaches. See, you are not going to out-target the machine. Your job is just moved. You're not picking the perfect audience anymore. It's feeding the machine a great creative and a clear offer and letting it find the right people. Which brings me to the thing that actually decides whether your ads work, and that's the creative, and specifically a video. A simple, real, talking to the camera video beats a, polished, expensive, brandy production that almost every time right now, people are just scrolling right past because it looks like an ad. You see, they stop for something that looks like a person telling you something true. So if you've been waiting to afford fancy production, I'll go ahead and tell you, stop your waiting. Your phone and your face and a clear message is the winning format in 2026. Keep the message stupidly simple and call out exactly who you're looking for. Name the specific result and make the clear ask. That's it. The temptation is to be clever. Look, don't be clever, be clear. Clever gets likes, but clear gets clients. And then the actual funnel. And this is where I see the most money wasted. So make sure you go ahead and listen to this part. Do not point your ads at a complicated 10-step funnel you built to feel impressive. Point them at one clear path. They see the ad, they get one valuable thing or one clear invitation. They take one obvious next step. The more steps and decisions that you actually put between the click and the conversation, the more people fall out every single time. So simple converts, okay? Complicated just leaks. And by the way, this is why a lot of the old ways to do things like webinar funnels, I feel like have honestly stopped working. You see, live attendance on those has quietly fallen to around 18 to 25% of people who actually sign up, which is down from the past year or so of having 40 or 45%. It's not that the funnels are dead, it's that the long friction heavy funnels that got actually pushed are now punished, and that the simple, more direct ones are now getting rewarded. Fewer steps, less leakage. So let me actually tie all this together for you because I don't want you to walk away thinking that the lesson is ads are good or ads are bad. Because here's kind of the real thing. Ads are not the lever you think they are. More leads were never your problem, and cheaper leads are definitely not your solution. The lever is the machine, the offer that already sells, the follow-up that actually follows up, the one clear path from a click to a client. You see, that is the machine that a real, $150 a day is generally all you need to grow a serious business. You see, when it's not, even $10,000 a day is just going to get you broke faster. And look, that is the whole entire difference between guessing and operating. See, a creator looks at the slow months and thinks, I need to run more ads. An operator looks at the same month and thinks, would more traffic actually convert right now? Or would it just expose every single crack I haven't fixed yet? Same money, completely different question. And the second question is the one that actually builds something that lasts. So go ahead and score yourself on the readiness check first. If you pass, start small. Size your budget off of your offer and feed the machine simple, honest videos, and don't forget to scale slowly. If you don't pass yet, you've just saved yourself the tuition. Go build the backend and then the ads will work for you when you turn them on. I actually dropped the full paid ads readiness scorecard in the description below, so you can actually go ahead and run through that yourself to make sure that every single one of those checks actually makes sense before you spend $1. Grab it and be honest with yourself, and honestly, you need to fix whatever isn't checked yet. Now, there is a bigger question underneath all of this that I keep getting asked. Everyone seems to be so nervous about AI and how it would just wipe out the entire coaching and course industry. So why pour your money into ads at all? Well, I have a strong and maybe unpopular take on that, and I broke it all down in the next video. It's linked in the description, and I will see you